Hey everybody, it's Djekar here with another battle report. This is game 4 of 5 on the Bromance weekend. This one is Undead Legions, which is me again, versus Lizardmen against Joe the Blacksmith. This scenario is battle line, where you get extra points, 200 per terrain piece that you have models in. There's no ties if there's multiple units in the same terrain piece. The most wounds in the terrain piece wins. So if I have a unit of goblins in and there's a saber tusk in, I win because I have theoretically more than 2 goblins. So let's see what happens. This is against KROAK, and so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to go well for me. All right, here's a picture of deployment from left to right. We've got chariots, we've got a spirit host, we've got 20 zombies, we've got grave guard plus Vlad and a tomb prince, we've got more zombies. Then around the back, coming back the other way, we have a casket of souls, 20 archers with the necromancer, my Hyro Titan Morghast, 2 doom divers, and a unit of 20 zombies. On his side, you see the mighty dwarven Power Rangers up there on the left. Off picture to the left is a salamander, but you can see a unit of skinks. You can see his cowboy hanging out there next to his unit of temple guard with KROAK. Hiding behind the building in between the temple guard and the Saurus on the right is his ancient stag. Then he has the Saurus, obviously. Then he has some he has some more skinks. His bolt thrower is in the back, and his miners start off the table. This is a better picture of my right flank. This is after I have vanguarded up Godzilla and the Howlers, and you can see the bolt thrower and his Saurus block and his skinks over here on my right side. And here's a better picture of my left side. You can see the salamander, the skinks, the cold one hanging out. The skinks in the back have his beast shaman in them, which is kind of weird, but that is what it is, and you can see his rangers. The beast shaman in the back is weird because he has KROAK, and KROAK's spell is direct damage, and I feel like he should just channel that junk through that shaman. He should just push the shaman up, but instead he chose to keep him in the back, which I thought was kind of weird. The other oddity is that the cold one guy is not in a unit. Now, I don't have rock lobbers or anything, so the fact that he doesn't get a lookout sir doesn't really matter, but I can drop Doom Divers on him. He would be protected from Doom Divers if he had put himself in the unit. So I don't know if this is just not knowing how Doom Divers work. I've played him once or twice before, not very many times, so he just may not know, and I feel bad if I didn't explain it enough for him to understand. So my opponent goes first, and I'm really upset about this. Not like super upset, like I thought I had all the best ideas, but I didn't want to eat KROAK magic phases. I wanted to have a chance to do stuff first, but I didn't. So everything moves up, as you can see. He pushes KROAK right up towards the building, and he gets off, like, I think it's the 24-inch bubble one. That's all he has dice for. If you don't know, it's 2d6, strength 4 hits to everybody within a certain amount of range. 12 inches cast on 12, 18 inches cast on 18, 24 inches cast on a 24. And it does an extra d6 if you're undead or demons. So yay, I get to take extra hits. So you can see where he's done a bunch of wounds. He did 4 wounds to the chariots. He almost annihilated my unit of 20 zombies in the back. Did 3 or 4 wounds to the the tomb guard there. And yeah, just basically hurt my face. So in my turn 1, I move Godzilla and the Howlers over here to fire at the skinks, where they pushed up and they failed their panic check and ran. They didn't run off the board, which is sad, but whatever. I'm not worried. I'm out of charge arc of the Saurus. I guess his master engineer could charge me, but whatever. It is what it is. I think I could take that guy. My chariots made a long bomb charge and hit the salamander. The impact hits alone killed the salamander. You can see the Dwarven. I think the Dwarven Rangers are actually fleeing from the chariots as well, but I don't know that that's true. But yeah, you can see the chariots just utterly annihilated those guys. So that was nice. Another thing, I don't think I have a good picture of this. You'll notice that his Scarvet isn't there. I just hit it with Doom Divers. I think I direct hit on with the first Doom Diver and just killed it, and he was pretty frustrated. He failed enough ward saves. And I understand that's a very frustrating thing to have happen. Here's his turn too. The Ancient Steg goes ahead and charges into the zombies, so that's not going to go well. I'm kind of hoping that the zombies manage to stay alive. The Steg has impact hits and stomps, but mostly it's actually not, it doesn't do a whole lot in combat. So I'm hoping I get the chance to like flank charge it or whatever. But I'm not holding my breath because he also has Kroak. Now we did rule that Kroak as a direct damage spell it doesn't affect units in combat. I think that's the right ruling. We had a couple, not my opponent and I, we didn't have a vicious assault or anything. We just kind of as a group, we decided that that's what was going to happen. You can see that his mighty rangers keep fleeing. So there's that. They don't panic the Temple Guard because the Temple Guard are immune to Psych. And if I'm not mistaken, the Skinks on the right-hand side flee off the board as well. So there's that. And the guy in the building shows you that Kroak is now in the building. I just don't want to... He's just going to explode everything. It's craziness. It's absolute insanity. Oh yeah, and the miners come on this turn. They wheel around. They're trying to get a bunch of good flank opportunities. So, I mean, there is that. You can see my spirit hosts are dead, and they just died to the first Kroak explosion. He just, opened his undeadish mouth, and they went home. They were like, yeah, whatever. We see what's going on here. And the zombies, they pull through. There's 3 of them left. Got a standard, a musician, and a regular Joe there. Actually, I don't have a musician. Just a standard and 2 regular Joes. But there we go. That's going to be excellent. I'm glad to see that. This is actually after his turn, after my turn. No, I'm sorry. This is actually after his turn 3. So in my turn, stuff moved around. I charged his Steg. I beat it up. I reformed. He charged me with the Saurus. I beat them, and I just chased them over here. You can see that the miners are still... The miners decided to not take the charge into my Necromancer's unit, but instead to line up a charge into the casket. So there was that. And his other skinks, he's got some skinks fleeing just from chariot shooting or archer shooting or whatever. It's just not very exciting. Stuff is dying. I just got to get Vlad's unit to get some points and then into that building to try and kill as many Temple Guard as possible. Yeah, here you can see on my turn 3, I've got some zombies fighting some skinks, so that's just going to be fun. I have some other skinks looking at the flank, I have some other zombies looking at the flank of skinks. And realistically, once I get people into the flanks, or once I get people into combat, I'm actually much better off because then Kroak isn't destroying me. You can see I put some wounds back on the Higher Titan there. The guys rallied, the Dwarven Rangers rallied, and my chariots are all dead. Kroak has just, annihilated them. Yep, so in my turn 3, I charge the Saurus, I catch them, I make my leadership test to reform, and you can see under Joe the blacksmith's hand there, you can see Gatilla moved over to shoot at his bolt thrower, and I think that this turn I killed the Master Engineer, but I'm not actually sure that that's true. Yep, my turn 3 here, you can see that the other skeletons charged into the flank of the skinks, so I'm in combat, that's enjoyable, I'm not going to get exploded now. Yeah, here's the better picture of me shooting the Master Engineer, and the bolt thrower passes its panic, which is kind of frustrating because when I was using the bolt thrower, it just didn't care. But, it is what it is. I'm having a pretty good run. I've killed a bunch of skinks, I've killed the salamander, I killed the ancient stag, so it's really just Kroak versus what's left of my army, and we'll see how that'll work for me. Yeah, so this is... you can see what his magic did, what my magic and his magic did. I brought a bunch of zombies back, and he killed a bunch of people. He put some more wounds back on my Higher Titan. Yeah, and Vlad is thinking about going into the building. So his turn 4, he comes out, and I think he's planning to get rid of the Hydra Titan and my Necromancer's unit, and he doesn't care about Vlad to the butt because he's unbreakable. And I mean, I just kind of have to take it. It is what it is. I have to attempt to kill that unit because that's where all his points are at. So I'm going to charge him in the butt anyway. Yay! My zombies beat up some skinks and don't make it into the rangers, but that's okay. You can see I have the other unit of zombies just kind of hanging out. They should be claiming a terrain piece, but right now they're not doing anything. His miners beat the crap out of my casket. I kill one miner. They killed the casket. The casket explodes and doesn't do anything. So there's that. Yeah, so I charge in on my turn. I also charge in Gatilla and his folks into the bolt thrower to get those points. I also charge the zombies into the Dwarven Rangers. And the Dwarven Rangers actually kill all the zombies, so oops. It is what it is. Vlad's unit charges in. I get Van Hel's up, and I kill a large amount of Tomb Guard. I don't lose that many in return. He's unbreakable because Kroak's in there. He turns around, and we're just gonna, grind it out. Here is Gatilla having finished off the Dwarven Bolt Thrower, so he's feeling good. Maybe gonna go get him some Rangers. This is a sad day for Dwarf kind. I fire 20 shots, or 19 shots, excuse me, because I moved. I kill, I want to say 4 people. There's 17 there, so I had to kill 5. Anyway, I killed enough to trigger a panic test, and they failed. Oh, poor dwarves. Here is the last turn. Here's the last picture of the game. It's turn 5. Only Kroak is left, and the BSB's guy. But since Kroak is no longer unbreakable, they break, the BSB dies, Kroak doesn't get away, and it is the unit of miners and the Dwarven Rangers against my entire army that's left. I have 1 unit of zombies left. I have the Hydra Titan left, the Archers left. Vlad's unit is pretty much untouched. My Doom Divers, I think, are dead, but that doesn't really matter too much. So we decided to end it here. There wasn't, he was going to be able to stay away from me and wasn't necessarily going to give me any more points. So that was the end of the game. Yeah, so it was some obscene number. I actually didn't even calculate up victory points. It was really obvious that I had gotten all of the points. I had time to go grab a couple terrain pieces, and Kroak ended up with shy of 600. So realistically, that game went swimmingly for me, and I don't really know why other than just luck. I rolled a lot of times on magic phases. Kroak would 6 dice his 24-inch range and get it and not irresistible, and I would roll like 4 dice and get double 6s. It was stupid. It was really insane. I didn't have a Dispel Scroll. I really think Kroak should have rolled me, and it was mostly luck. Vlad's unit, really invincible. I should have just thrown him in to everything all day long, and I didn't. And really, once I got stuff into combat with that ruling, Kroak started to become less of an issue. So I don't know, but he did kill a lot of my stuff. Like, a lot of my support units just died because Kroak decided that he was going to look at them funny, and I can't complain. I mean, he's 400 points and he only has the 1 spell, so it's not that I'm frustrated about that. It was just, Kroak is good. I felt like, absent some luck, my Doom Divers killing the Scarbed on the first turn, the long bomb charge into the Salamanders with the chariots to get rid of that stuff. I took care of his stuff, his chaff. He took care of my chaff, and then I just had more big hitters, I guess, and then I got lucky in the magic phase. So it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the report. We've got one more up after this, and see you then.